What's going on, guys? What's going on? The bag was back. We're talking about Kurupí Clásica, which is the dark Yerba Mate. Following us over at Circle of Drink and Yerba Mate Land, you know that we've been branching out to other brands, namely with our yerbamateland.com website. And this is the first time that we got a hold of some Kurupí. I've been drinking it for a couple days now. Let's talk about it. So, I'm Dave Mate. Started circleofdrink.com a couple of years ago. Started off as a blog talking about Yerba Mate, doing different reviews. I was living in Argentina for 3 years, just to kind of tell my story to those of you who are just tuning in, who are just finding me. Really became, I guess, a de facto expert on Yerba Mate. Tried over 100 brands of mate, love Yerba Mate, drink it every single day. Really powerful herb from the Southern Cone region of South America. The Southern Cone is Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Southern Brazil. That's where the mate grows. Yes, the Southern Cone does encompass Chile as well. Mate has been around for thousands of years. It's been protected and grown and prayed to and loved by the Guarani tribe of Paraná River and the Tupi people of southern Brazil. Later on, the Jesuits came and basically enslaved the Guarani, so to speak. Well, no, not so to speak. They definitely did enslave the Guarani, forced them to produce mate on a commercial scale, basically stole their secrets and produced a whole bunch of mate, made it a multi-million-dollar cash crop of the time. That was 400 years ago. Then mate started to spread around the world, early 1900s, late 1800s, came to America, headed on over to Europe. People started drinking it as this luxurious gourmet tea. In the early 1900s in the United States, various notables and chemists and travelers started talking about Yerba Mate, started focusing on the medicinal properties of Yerba Mate. In 2016, Yerba Mate has kind of found a resurgence in the United States and Europe and Middle East. People drink it for all different reasons. People drink it for health. Yerba Mate, if you do the research, you'll be surprised. This single herb, attributes to so many, has so many attributable health benefits. But the ones that I usually talk about are creative clarity, sharpening of the mind, nibbling thought. You just drink it, you wake up in the morning, you start drinking Yerba Mate, you feel good. It gives you this energy, it gives you this clarity, it gives you this extra layer of comprehension and intuition in anything that you're involved with. So if you're reading a book, you're drinking Yerba Mate, watch, you'll see. You'll start to comprehend what you're reading better. If you are a carpenter and you need that energy in the morning to get going and start building those homes, watch, drink Yerba Mate, you're gonna have the energy of a horse, okay? The energy of a bull. If you're a painter or if you're a creative person, maybe a computer programmer or designer, an intellectual philosopher, what have you, you start drinking Yerba Mate and just watch. You'll see your thoughts will become clearer. You'll start to generate new ideas. And if you're just a regular person, who, regardless of what you do, you start drinking Yerba Mate, you share with your friends, you share with your family, you meet new people and you share Yerba Mate with them, and something pretty miraculous takes shape. What I like to call a mate circle. What is a mate circle? A mate circle is when you come together and you share this gourd, or however you drink Yerba Mate, and you start to prepare the mate. The preparer, or the cebador in Spanish, is the person who prepares the mate. This person is responsible for selecting the mate, selecting the bombicha, selecting the gourd, and this person conducts what we call a mate circle. He or she prepares the gourd, drinks the first two mates, then passes the gourd to his or her right. That person drinks the gourd, And then when they're done, passes it back to the server. Then the server makes more mate and passes it to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, so on and so forth. And what's happening in this mate circle is something that I can't really put into words. It's something that you just have to do. You start to feel more open. You start to embrace your, excuse me, the participants in the mate circle more. You start to kind of, I don't know, you just start to open up. You start to talk about creative things. You start to feel good. And these sort of discussions have a synergy. So your ideas are not just your ideas anymore. Your ideas are now coupled with that person's ideas, and you create this sort of, I don't know, this generator of ideas, these liquid fluid ideas, and that's the mate circle. It's coming together and dissolving barriers. It doesn't matter where you're from in the world. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter your race, your sex, your color, your creed, your philosophy, your religious background. It doesn't matter. Who cares? That's all nonsense. Okay, not to just whatever. It's not, I don't want to say it's fully nonsense. Yes, you should have your own respect of your own cultures and nationalities. I'm not talking down about anybody's particular background, but what I'm saying is we're just all equal. We're all human. We're all sharing this experience on Earth. Okay, let's get rid of the myopia. Let's get rid of like, oh, that person's from there. That person's from New York. That person's from California. That person's from Europe. That person's rich. That person's poor. No, mate is the metaphor. It is the binding single herb, the placeholder that wherever you're from in the world, could just come together and share this simple herb from South America. This is the drink of friendship. This is the drink of the gods. Yerba mate. I can't speak more about this herb. I speak about it every day. I dream about it. I love it. Been drinking it for 7 years. I'm going to continue to promote this herb for the rest of my life. It's just so powerful. Okay, so here we go, guys. That was my little preamble. Let's actually talk about a particular brand that we just started to sell on yerbamateland.com, Kurupí. So this is it, guys, Kurupí. Now, there are 3 general classifications of yerba mate. You have yerba mate from Paraguay, you have yerba mate from Argentina, and then you have yerba mate from Brazil. The yerba mate from Argentina, what I like to call a classical Argentine yerba mate, is very earthy. It's the most popular mate, I would say, in the world. It's earthy, it's grassy, it's herbaceous, it's nice, it has high energy. Then you have mate from southern Brazil. In southern Brazil, you have 2 general types of yerba mate. You have chimarrão yerba mate, or erva mate, and then you also have what I call gaucho yerba mate. Now, the gaucho yerba mate is grown in southern Brazil for the Uruguayan market. Those are brands like Canarias, Del Salvador, Sarah. What else? Those are the 3 prominent brands: Canarias, Del Sarah. Then on the other side of the spectrum, you have mate grown also in southern Brazil, but that mate is grown for the native local population. That's what you call chimarrão or erva mate. That's when you see that pure green yerba mate. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you see me posting a whole bunch of those sort of pictures. Really super green. That's a nice mate. Then here enters Paraguay. Is like a beast in and of itself. This is a totally different sort of yerba mate, in my opinion. It's very wild. It's not controlled at all. It's radical. It has all these sorts of different flavor profiles. Smoky, vanilla, tobacco, chocolate, carob, dark chocolate, cacao. It's really crazy. This mate, Kurupí, fits into that category. This is a Paraguayan, or Paraguayan, however you'd like to pronounce it. Both are correct. Yerba mate. Now, in Paraguay, keep in mind that most people there don't drink mate hot. They drink mate cold. They get a gourd, usually a long cylinder or horn, literally a horn from a bull, and they add a whole bunch of ice, add a whole bunch of herbs, and then they add the mate. Then they add cold water to that, and they drink that. That's called tereré. Tereré, tereré. I don't really promote that word because it's so hard to pronounce. It's just cold iced tea yerba mate, basically. So Kurupí is probably, arguably, the most popular yerba mate in Paraguay to make tereré, to make cold yerba mate, or what we call, to simplify things, mate frio. Mate frio just means cold yerba mate. So straight from the bat, I'll tell you, you could drink Kurupí hot or cold. It's up to you. Each way of preparing this mate, either hot or cold, produces a different effect, produces a different taste profile. I like it both. Right now, I'm drinking it hot. You know, for the past 3 days, I've been drinking it cold. So let's talk a little bit about the flavor profile and all that. Let me actually show you a screenshot of the actual herb. Find the screen, I'll share it with you. All right. Here we go. Present to everyone. All right, guys. So this is Kurupí. And right here it's Guarani, which means the tea of the Guarani tribe of Paraná. And as you can see this illustration below, you have the Guarani Indians. So it comes in different types. This is the classical one. Let me show you a picture of the cut. So the cut of the yerba mate is the composition of the actual leaves, the pure leaves, which is the pulverized leaves, and the palos, which are these white twigs in there. This mate has a nice composition. It has a decent amount of powder. You can't really see the powder that well. It's probably below the leaves. Let's talk a little bit about the taste of this mate. Now, like with all Paraguayan mates, you're going to get this whole crazy situation where it's just cherry. I picked up on toasted pumpkin seeds, salty sunflower seeds, salt, believe it or not, cheesecake, cherries, syrup, tobacco, almost like this steely metallic situation going on. It's very robust. This mate is a full-bodied mate. It has a full cycle as well. The cycle is how long the mate lasts throughout the duration of 1 liter. So if you're drinking this mate from a gourd, you're going to be able to continue to add up to 1 liter of water before it becomes totally tasteless, or what you say as lavado in Spanish. Now, it has a sort of like black tea character, I would say. It does have these light citrusy notes to it. I would say it has this lemon verbena, lemon peel, orange peel, almost like a lemony mint undertone to it. So it's very nice. Now, if you drink this mate hot, those robust notes will be accentuated. It's going to be much more sort of this smoky composition. Tobacco notes are going to come out more, be more pronounced. It's very bold. It's very blunt to the point when you drink it hot. I like it hot. It's nice hot. But I have to admit, if you're not used to mate, especially not used to Paraguayan mate, and you drink this mate hot, buckle your seatbelts because you're in for a ride. This mate is going to hit you hard and heavy. You know, it's a very bold mate, but that's why I like it. I like mates that have something to say. I like mates that have a character. Some mates are just so soft-spoken, they have no character. They have nothing to say. They're just not even there. This mate is totally in your face, full-bodied, bold, smoky tones, metallic tones, but this sort of light undercurrent of citrus notes. Very interesting mate. It's really funky. You know, it has this whole funky component, grassy component, like dirt component. Would I call this an elegant mate? A little bit, but not so much. Now, I want to talk a little bit about blending this mate with other herbs. This is one of the best mates in Paraguay to blend with other herbs. So, like I said, this mate is it's very opinionated. It's very strong. It's very in your face. So if you want to calm this mate down, you definitely want to add some citrus components to it. Right here, you could see an image where I added orange peel and I added lemongrass. And you could actually get a bowl and mix it all beforehand before you actually make the gourd. Or what you could do is, and I found this as a pretty cool technique, where you actually make this sort of a plating. It's like a plating of herbs that sits atop of the actual gourd. Now, when you're making this plating, it's really cool because you could actually put a little bit of the orange peel on one side, put some of the lemongrass on another side, and then you could actually gauge how much of that particular flavor you want to be incorporated into the actual flavor profile. So say you want it to be a little bit more orangey, a little bit more citrusy. When you're pouring your water, and it doesn't matter if it's hot water or cold water or lukewarm water, it's up to you with this particular mate, or any mate in general, but particularly with this mate, you could use all different types of water temperatures. So if you want it to be a little bit more orangey, just focus the water on the orange peels. If you want it to be a little bit more lemony, focus the water on the lemongrass or on the lemon peels or whatever lemon component you're adding into. Or if you want to actually incorporate all of those flavors at once, take your water and indiscriminately pour it over everything. That's called flooding the mate. You're literally flooding the mate and you're incorporating everything. So I don't really want to go into a lesson on making cold yerba mate because there are many techniques for making cold mate, but the gist of it is getting cold water, getting your herbs, adding the herbs to the gourd, and just using cold water instead of hot water. Now you could take that a step further and actually add ice cubes into the actual gourd and then pour your cold water on top of that. Then it becomes really cold, and that's basically what tereré is, or mate frio, or iced tea yerba mate. Those are all synonymous in my mind. So Kurupí, what else can I say, guys? It's a nice yerba mate. If you drink it hot, it's really super robust, really in your face. It's bold, it's herbaceous. This whole marshmallow component mixed in steel. If you drink it cold, everything's kind of calmed down a little bit. You're gonna definitely get more of those subtle flavors, more of the citrus notes if you drink it cold. Either way, it's a full-bodied mate. I don't care if you drink it cold or hot. It's still a full-bodied mate. You're still going to get a full cycle, which at least 1 liter's worth of mate, still containing the taste. And that's it, guys. Kurupí, check it out. If you want to grab a half a kilo, yerbamateland.com, where we just brought it into stock. And we're going to keep on going, guys. We're going to keep on doing reviews, keep on profiling. Keep the circle growing. My name is from yerbamateland.com. Thanks for checking in. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask questions in the comments below this video. We'll definitely get back to you. If you're on Facebook, find us at facebook.com/circle of drink and /Yerba Mate Land. Those are both of our channels. And definitely subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us. You're going to get more videos. And go to either one of those websites, Yerba Mate Land or circleofdrink.com, and you're going to see this pop up. That's our newsletter. Definitely subscribe to our newsletter. More information, more insight, more education is coming. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great weekend. Salud.